Jungle.
Good morning, cherished listeners. It is your own news presenter, Sebastian Boaz, aka The Morning Man, bringing you the morning news. We are streaming live from Vision Live FM here in Sampa Valley, Accra, Ghana. We bring you the most compelling and exciting news from our communities and around the world, from breaking news to in-depth reports. Our goal is to keep you informed and abreast with information around you. Thank you for joining us this morning. Do not change your dial here. This news segment is proudly sponsored by the International Vision Church and Allegra Kitchen Craft and Floral Institute. Now to the headlines. There were 6 deaths, 24 vandalism incidents, 46 injuries, and CDD post-election reports. Attempted robbery as accused claims he carried cutlass for protection. Excavator operator jailed for stealing. The Guasuman Hene Nanakwisi Bosompra is dead. Ashanti Regional Chief Imam is dead. Man goes on rampage at Parliament, damages 4 MPs' vehicles with an axe. International headline news. Nigerian man promised pardon after 10 years on death row for stealing hens. The city where shopkeepers fear their CCTV cameras could get them killed, says Somalia government. Business headline news. Local mining contractors urge President-elect John Dramani Mahama to reveal minerals commission charges. Fuel prices reduced at the pump. Sports headlines. How GFA abandoned Anthony Annan after he sustained injury with the Black Stars. I am ready to coach the Black Stars, says Bashir Hayfield. Entertainment headline news. When I get angry enough, I'll run for president, says Majid Michel. Actress Beniwa of a Fura TV series is dead. Now to the main news.
Audio Jungle.
Now to the main news. The programs manager of the Center for Democratic Development of Ghana, CDD Ghana, PrinceAlexKwameNkrumah Mensah, has said that his office recorded 76 cases of violence during the 2024 general elections. He explained that 6 of these cases resulted in death, while 45 cases led to the victims sustaining serious injuries. He noted that the number of violent cases in 2024 far outweighs the number recorded during 2020 general elections, which is worrying and dangerous for democracy. Speaking in an interview with Ghana Web, he bemoaned why victims involved in election-related violence do not get justice from their perpetrators, adding that his outfit will ensure it's not repeated this time round. Comparing the data from 2020 to 2024, we had 31 recorded incidents in our system, comprising the death cases, which recorded 8 in number in 2020, serious or fatal injuries, and also destruction of properties. This time, we've recorded 76 with 6 death cases, 24 vandalism and invasion incidents, and around 45 fatal injuries. So this is one revealing outcome. We had to, at least from the tracking project we did after the 2020 elections, realize that victims of electoral violence hardly get justice and perpetrators hardly get prosecuted. It's also another revelation that we think we need to also take into account, he said. Moving on to news. A 21-year-old commercial motorcycle rider, Hope Negbupeku, accused of attempt robbery, has told the Amasaman Circuit Court that he had carried a cutlass while working to protect himself. He explained that he had been a victim of motorbike theft in the past, which led him to arm himself for self-defense. Nunekpeku denied that he had any criminal intentions when he carried the cutlass. He made these statements during cross-examination in a case presided over by Ms. Enid Mafusao. Nunekpeku is facing trial for attempted robbery after being arrested with a cutlass hidden in a shirt while riding a motorcycle with an alleged accomplice, Dixon, who is currently on the run. Their plan was thwarted when a vigilant commercial bus driver alerted a police patrol team, resulting in Nukpeku's arrest, while Dixon escaped with the motorcycle, to which the officer replied in a negative statement. He also asked if he had informed the police at the time of his arrest that he was carrying a cutlass for protection, but the officer denied this, stating that the cutlass was discovered only after a search. Nunekpeku also questioned Police Detective Chief Inspector Inoke Agboka, another prosecution witness, about his claim that the cutlass was meant for self-defense. The witness, however, stated that Nunekpeku had an ulterior motive for carrying it. When asked if he used the cutlass to commit a crime or harm anyone, the witness confirmed that Nunekpeku had attempted to do so. So court ruled that a prima facie case had been established against Nunekpeku and he was instructed to present his defense. The incident occurred on December 14, 2023 around 2100 hours when Nunekpeku and Dixon reportedly monitored a bus driver who was waiting to deliver items to his wife. When the driver confronted them, Dixon fled into the dark area alarmed. The driver contacted the police, who swiftly responded, arresting Nunekpeku while Dixon escaped with the motorcycle. During the cross-examination, Nunekpeku asked one of the arresting officers, General Lance Corporal Samuel Bafu, whether he had used the cutlass to commit a crime. In other news, a 27-year-old excavator operator Fadi Paul Apia has been sentenced to 10 years imprisonment with hard labor by the Tarkwa Circuit Court for stealing an Apsonic tricycle motorbike valued at 20,000 Ghana cedis. Apia, who sold the tricycle bike at 50,000 cedis and collected 7,500 as part payment, pleaded guilty to the offense and was convicted accordingly by the court presided by Mrs. Hathia Amma Menu. Chief Superintendent of Police Alex Odonko, who led the prosecution, said the complainant Roxanne Dapa, a mason, resided at Nyamiche Krum, a suburb of Bogoso, while Apia resided at Tarkwa in Swase municipality. He said that in February 2024, the complainant bought an Apsonic tricycle motorbike with registration number M23WT1206 for commercial purposes and handed over the same to Isaac Ekufu, a witness in the case. On July 20, 2024, while Ekufu was working, the tricycle developed a fault and he informed the complainant, who then directed him to see one master, Kudia, a mechanic. The prosecution said that on the same day, about 1830 hours, Ekufu went to park the faulty machine in Master Kodia's shop in his absence and left for his house, but when he returned the next day, the tricycle was missing. Ekufu informed the complainant and reported the matter to Bogoso police, and on September 14, 2024, Edu Jemfu was arrested at Bogoso with a stolen tricycle motorbike. He said during the investigation, Edu Jemfu revealed to the police that he bought the Apsonic tricycle motorbike from the convict for 15,000 Ghana cedis and made a part payment of 7,500 Ghana cedis and promised to settle the balance if he produced the document. Chief Superintendent Odonko said Edu Jemfu was granted police inquiry bail to assist in the investigation. On October 14, 2024, Edu Jemfu alerted the police that he had lured Apia and he was in a vehicle coming from Tarkwa in Swasem to Bogoso for the money. The prosecution said that about 1,130 hours, Apia was arrested by the police at Tintimshi Police near Bogoso and was handed over to the police in Bogoso. During interrogation, Apia told the police that on July 21, 2024, one Albert Kudia from Bogoso called him saying that he was bringing an Apsonic tricycle motorbike to Tarkwa but had run out of fuel and abandoned the machine on the incident to Huni Valley Road and left for his house. He said Apia alleged he secretly went for the tricycle and sold it to Edu Jemfu, but he failed to assist the police in apprehending Albert Kudia for prosecution. In other news, the paramount chief of the Gwaso traditional area, Gwasumahene Nanakwesi Bosompra, is reportedly dead. According to the pro-Menshia social media outlet, the Asante Nation, the death of Nanakwesi Bosompra was announced by Otunfo Chiame Entry Bosiakon during the Asanteman Council meeting on December 16, 2024. pro-Malaysia news outlet Impumsu.com, which corroborated with the report of the death of the paramount chief, indicated that the demise of Boson Pra was made public when the Asantman Council convened to adjudicate some cases. Among the cases were Tanoso School Affairs, which had the Gwasuma Hini as a member of the committee probing the dispute. The passing of the chief indicated created a void, prompting an urgent need for replacement. The paramount chief, according to reports, has been unwell for some time now. Nana Kwesi Boson Pra is known openly for criticizing the current Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government and state institutions, including the Electoral Commission of Ghana. The Gwasuma Hini made news headlines after he wept in public over the lack of development in his area. He recently chastised chiefs and pastors for not being truthful about the state of affairs in the country. Nana Kwesi Boson Pra was installed as the paramount chief of Gwaso in 2008. In other news, the Asante Regional Chief Imam Sheikh Abdul Mumin Harun has reportedly to have died in the late hours of Tuesday, December 7, 2024. According to the multiple reports, Sheikh Abdul Mumin Harun died on Tuesday night after being rushed to the emergency unit of the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital for medical attention after battling a short illness. Sheikh Abdul Mumin Harun is known to have provided spiritual support and guidance to not only Muslims in the community but also other religious communities in the country. In other news, there was a drama at the precincts of the Parliament of Ghana on Wednesday, December 18, 2024, when a man went on rampage destroying the vehicles of some members of the Parliament with the axe. According to reports gathered, the man who claimed he was sent by God concealed an axe under his jalabia, a long white clothing mostly worn by Arabs or Muslims. Eyewitnesses indicated that he posed as a preacher as he entered the walls of Parliament, and after gaining access started smashing the vehicles with an axe. He managed to damage at least 4 vehicles reportedly belonging to some legislators before being apprehended. Security officials at the Parliament House were forced to fire warning shots before arresting the man, some reports said. Another man believed to be an accomplice was also arrested. Visuals of the incident showed the vehicles, including a Toyota Land Cruiser, with badly damaged windscreens and door glasses. The visuals also showed the moment the security officials apprehended the 2 suspects. To international news.
Audio Jungle.
To international news. A Nigerian man who has spent 10 years on death row for stealing some hens and eggs has been promised a pardon by the governor of the Southwest Osun State. Segun Olokere was 17 years old in 2010 when he was arrested along with his accomplice Marokiano Sunday. They were said to have attacked the home of a police officer and another person with an old-fashioned wooden gun and a sword, but only got away with the poultry. In 2014, Justice Jalit Falola of the Sungun State High Court sentenced the 2 to death by hanging after finding them guilty of falsely breaking into the police officer's house and stealing his belongings. There was an outcry across Nigeria at the same time as many felt the sentence was too harsh. The duo were subsequently moved to the notorious Kirikiri Maximum Security Prison in Lagos State, where they've been in a death row ring. In a statement on Tuesday, Governor Ademola Adeleke directed that Olokore should be pardoned as he was important to protect the sanctity of life. I have directed the Commissioner for Justice to initiate process to grant prerogative of mercy to the young man. Osun is a land of justice and equality. We must ensure fairness and protection of the sanctity of lives, the governor posted on X. The fate of the Murakino Sunday was sentenced alongside Olokere is unclear as his name wasn't mentioned in a statement. For years, Olokere's parents, human rights groups and other Nigerians have fought for his release. His parents was recently on a podcast where they cried and begged for their only child to be pardoned. He expected to be freed early 2025. Nigeria has not carried out an execution since 2012, but there are currently more than 3,400 people on death row. In other international news, shop owners in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu are caught between a rock and a hard place over a government directive that they install CCTV cameras outside their businesses to intensify surveillance of Islamic insurgents who have a strong presence in the city. The businessmen say if they put up the cameras, the risk being gunned down by the Al-Shabaab insurgent, and if they do not, they could be arrested by the police. The BBC has changed the names of the businessmen and homeowners for their own safety. The CCTV cameras are why you are now to see me at home, says former shopkeeper Hamza Noor, 48, as he sits on a sofa holding one of his children. He tells the BBC that he took the painful decision to sell his business to avoid incurring the wrath of either side. You are told not to remove the cameras by one side, and then you are told to remove the cameras by the other side. Depending on the choice you make, you either have a bullet or prison cell waiting for you. Mr. Na adds, the government issued a directive last year to shopkeepers to install CCTV cameras at their own cost to deter attacks by Al-Shabaab. Mashagu's Deputy Mayor Mohammed Ahmed Dire tells the BBC Africa Daily podcast that the decision has paid off. There used to be 4 or 5 bombings per month in Mogadishu, but that's no longer the case, he says. The government has now ordered residents to install the cameras outside homes and apartment blocks, raising fears among many people that Al-Shabaab could bring its war into their homes. Since October, Al-Shabaab has killed 4 businessmen in 10 attacks related to the installation of CCTV cameras, according to a leading violence monitoring group, Armed Conflict Location and Event Data. The government directive was aimed at ultimately disrupting Al-Shabaab's sources of funding as it extorts money out of the shop owners, but the retaliatory attacks by the insurgents have forced many businesses in Mogadishu's main markets to close their doors for days. Accord adds in a report published on its website. Mr. Nair says that at first he ignored the government directive but was forced to install the CCTV cameras after being confronted by members of the security forces. I tried to explain to them that I was just a poor man and I didn't want to get involved with the government, but they got angry and began threatening me, saying they ruined my life, he tells the BBC. Mr. Nair says that he once installed a CCTV camera, he began receiving phone calls from unrecognized numbers. To business news.
Audio Jungle.
Moving on to business news. The Association of Local Mining Contractors has called on President-elect John Dramani Mahama to urgently address the high permit and operational charges imposed by the Minerals Commission. They are demanding that within 3 months of assuming office, the incoming administration implements significant reductions in these charges and ensure that they are billed in Ghana cedis rather than in US dollars. Samuel Baji, the General Secretary of the association, voiced these concerns during a media briefing. He criticized the Minerals Commission for failing to justify the sharp increase in fees, which he described as burden on local businesses. He noted that local companies previously paid 10,000 Ghana cedis annually per permit, while sole proprietors were charged 5,000 Ghana cedis per permit. However, these fees have now skyrocketed, with local companies required to pay 50,000 Ghana cedis and sole proprietors over 25,000 Ghana cedis. It is made baffling that local mining contractors are being subjected to an exorbitant charges simply because of their status as contractors, Abuaji lamented. The association also expressed frustration over the practice of quoting fees in dollars despite members conducting their transactions in Ghana cedis. The association has submitted an official proposal to the NPP government regarding these concerns, but they have remained unaddressed, Abuaji stated. He further emphasized that the unexplained fee hikes are crippling the operations of local contractors and pose a threat to the survival of the industry. In other business news, some oil marketing companies have begun reviewing the prices of fuel at pumps as second pricing window for December begins. Petrol and diesel are seeing marginal reductions after experiencing some increases in the first pricing window of December. As of December 18 to 24, Shell has taken the lead to announce that it's selling a litre of petrol for 15.30 Ghana cedis from 14.99 per litre Ghana cedis it was selling in the first week of December. Diesel is currently selling at 15.66 Ghana cedis from 15.72 per liter. Goil is selling a liter of petrol at 14.35 Ghana cedis and diesel at 15.45 Ghana cedis. Star Oil is also selling petrol at a price of 13.99 Ghana cedis per liter and diesel at 14.99 Ghana cedis per liter. To sports news. The Member of Parliament for Ibuakwa South constituency, Samuel Atta Achia, has bemoaned the official challenges facing the sporting fraternity during a sitting in the House on December 17, 2024. According to him, the financial constraints in sports have led to the abysmal performances of some of the national teams and athletes who fail to thrive during competitions, as well as coaches underpaid. He indicated that the recent failure of the Black Stars to qualify for the 2025 African Cup of Nations (AFCON) in Morocco has pained most Ghanaians and left them disappointed. Speaking on the floor of Parliament, Atachina called on the House to ensure that more government revenues are allocated for investment in sports so the nation can benefit in return. There is other revenue stream which is sports, and when you know it will benefit the nation in the long run, then investing in that place will make a lot of sense, he said. So I am of the humble view that as sports people who want to make a fetches out of sports and we go and we lose, Black Stars are giving us a lot of pain and the coaches are being underpaid. In other sports news, head coach of Hearts of Oak Lions Bashir Hayford has stated that he's ready to take on the Black Stars coaching job when the opportunity arises. He explained that with the experience he has gained in his managerial career, including coaching Somalia's men's national team, he feels prepared. Speaking in an interview with Asempa FM, Hayford asserted that questioning his competency in terms of coaching the national team would be disrespectful to him. When asked if he can coach the Black Stars, Hayford responded, "Why do you ask? What does it take to coach the Black Stars? Everything shows I can do the job. So if you see competence in me, give it to me. If you don't see any competence in me, then don't give it to me." The Gaffer had vast coaching experience. In August 2018, he was appointed as the manager of the Ghana women's national football team. In March 2019, he was appointed as manager of Somalia's men's national football team. In February 2020, it was confirmed that Hayford had resigned from the managing Somalia due to ongoing civil war. He also handled Asante Kotoko, Ashanti Gold FC, Hearts of Lions, Power FC, Mediana FC, and Ebusia Dwarfs. He became the coach of Legon Cities FC in November 2020. In entertainment news,
Audio Jungle.
To entertainment news, Ghanaian actor Majid Michel has hinted at entering into politics in the future. In an interview on Joy Prime on December 18, 2024, Majid Michel noted that when he becomes angry, he would vie for the highest office in the country. He explained that he was not angry now because things were going smoothly in the country. The truth is because I am not angry yet. Whatever you are angry about is your duty to fix. So you come out of your house and you see the choked gutters and pure water rubbers around you and you are angry about it, then it is your duty to fix it. I am not yet angry because things are not going too bad, but when they start going very bad and you get very angry, then you realize your responsibility is yours, he said. The actor added that the only thing that can foster the growth of the Ghana movie industry is unity and collaboration with the Nigerian movie industry. We did an experimental movie called Divine Love that featured both Ghanaians and Nigerians, and it worked really well and we became strong. Initially, it used to be Nigerians who needed our help when it came to their movies, and after they got it, they built their industry far better than us, and they don't need our help anymore. Usually, it is ego play, but put ego aside and keep friendship. How God created this world is interdependent. You are not an island and you need help. So regardless of how powerful you think you are, you can never work unless in a team, he added. In other entertainment news, the Ghanaian entertainment industry is mourning the loss of popular actress Mercy Little Smith, widely known by her stage name Beniwa, from the beloved TV series Ifira. Her death was announced on the official Facebook page of the Ifira TV series on December 18, 2024. The announcement read, "R.I.P. Beniwa, she left the earth plane yesterday." The cause of her death has not yet been disclosed. Mercy Little Smith was celebrated for her role in the Ifira series, where she played the role of Beniwa, the fat woman with the famous buttocks and a wife of a lawyer, Kabu, from the Apoto, Iowa chambers. Her passing has led to outpouring of condolences from fans, colleagues, and other general public who have taken to social media to express their grief and pay tribute to the actress. Dear listeners, this is the end of today's news and was presented by your own presenter, aka Sebastian Boas, aka The Morning Man. This news segment was proudly sponsored by the International Vision Church and Allegra Kitchen Crafts and Floral Institute. To sponsor this news segment, kindly contact 024-519-3706, 024-519-3706, or you can also reach us on 050-302-7765, 050-302-7765, or you can also contact 0244-577-335, 0244-577-335. Catch you here same time tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. on Vision Live Radio. Thank you for joining us this morning and have a wonderful day.
Audio Jungle.